He wasn't the hardest puncher. He didn't have a shiny record, but in the early days of boxing, even the bare-knuckle ranks, Professor Mike Donovan became one of the sport's most respected fighters, and later, one of its most influential teachers. Born in Chicago in 1847, last name O'Donovan, Professor Mike stood 5'8" and weighed around 148 pounds, and he fought in a time when bare-knuckle bouts and gloved exhibitions coexisted and often collided. His professional career officially ran from 1878 to 1897, with him fighting at an older age, but his legacy stretched far beyond those years. His numbers as far as boxing under the Marquess of Queensberry rules won't blow you away. But Donovan was known as a scientific boxer, a tactician whose ring IQ was miles ahead of the brawlers during his time. His first major bout was for the American middleweight title against William C. McClellan. Donovan controlled much of the fight, but in round 16, he let his instincts get the best of him, landing 3 punches after the break was called. He was disqualified on the spot. A month later, they met again. This time, Donovan dropped McClellan and then, accidentally or not, punched him while seated in his corner's chair. McClellan stormed out of the ring in protest and was disqualified. Another win for Donovan, but more controversy. In 1886 and 1888, Donovan faced the first world middleweight champion in boxing history, a man who was viewed as unrivaled with no equal, of course, Nonpareil Jack Dempsey. Their 1888 rematch was a 6-round technical showcase. Donovan even drew first blood with a stiff left to the nose. It ended in a draw, though many felt Donovan had done enough to win. He would fight McClellan a final time in 1891. It didn't last long, as Donovan knocked him out in under 40 seconds. Now, at the tail end of his career, Donovan fought Jem Mace, the legendary bare-knuckle champion, twice. Both fights were exhibitions, more banter than brutality. In the first fight, Donovan was 49 and Mace was 65. But Donovan's greatest impact came outside the ropes. As a trainer, he guided Gentleman Jim Corbett in his iconic victory over John L. Sullivan in the World Heavyweight title contest in 1892, the fight that truly ushered in the modern gloved era to a certain degree. Known as the Professor for a reason, Donovan turned boxing into a thinking man's sport. He preached technique, patience, and craft, and he passed that knowledge down for generations. Donovan passed away in 1918 at the age of 70. He was posthumously inducted into the International Boxing Hall of Fame in 1998. His teachings still echo in the gyms around the world. Oh, and if the name rings a bell, his grandson, Art Donovan Jr., is enshrined in the Pro Football Hall of Fame. Mike Donovan was never the strongest, but few minds shaped boxing like Professor Mike Donovan, and it most certainly quells the notion that there weren't scientific boxers during his era. For more stories like this, subscribe to 86 Boxing, where legends get their due.